Hey, y'all. This is the Renaissance Daddy, and this is the third part of a three-part uh, childhood psychology and depression during the holiday season. Our little ones need that help, so I broke this out into three parts. This is a third part. Hopefully, you've already listened to part one and part two. It gets good. It's going to get good. There's a lot I want to share with you, a lot of research that I've done to help your little ones that are helping my little ones. So hopefully you stick around. And if you like this content, as always, hit like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it. Right, if you were doing that, go tell your father that I don't like him. Go tell your father that I'll drop you out. That's put him in the middle, right? They don't need to know it. They just need to know what, who, where, what, when, why, that whole deal. And they'll be good. Okay. Make sure that you maintain. This is a hard one, really. And I was doing research, and I want to say that it's a hard one because it says they want you to every psychologist or therapist wants you to maintain a relationship with friends and family, but in a COVID world that we live in, I'm going like I'm trying to attack you. In a COVID world that we live in, it's kind of hard to maintain friends and family, right? So I'm trying to do that as much as possible in terms of when I go pick up my daughter, 99% of the time, or at least 90% of the time, especially as of late in the last month or so, my mom is on the phone, right? And my daughter sees my relationship with my mom, and hopefully she eventually then turns her relationship to her mom. And then, I tell her that I go to lunch every once in a great while with a friend of mine, right? So maintaining a normal, healthy relationship with friends and family. Now, the reason I say this, because my daughter is very, very sensitive to the friend. Okay. And it's because, and here's the bottom line for men or for women. If you have a person of interest that is more than just a friend, just be straight with that. Like, honestly, age appropriate. Come on now, but be honest. Because kids are a lot smarter than you give them credit for. So if this is daddy's friend, and she's, this 5'2", 5'3", drop dead gorgeous blonde lady. Come on now, or whatever your thing is. And same goes for women, right? This is mommy's friend. Because what ends up happening is they get the term friend kind of mixed up, and then there could actually be a friend. And then that healthy, non-healthy, it's all about words, but it does impact their minds, right? Their little minds. So when you have a friend, make sure it's just a friend. And if you have a relationship or a budding relationship, or I'm dating a gentleman or a woman or a lady, just be straight with it. Okay? I'm not saying you have to wait 2-3 years. I'm saying that individual should not be in that child's life for at least 2 years. At least let the year go, right? Let the corpse cool. Let your husband or wife's body just sit for a bit, right? And it comes down to not even so much the other individual, your significant ex, and how they feel about it. It's about your children developing new memories, new relationships, and new emotional markers in their life, right? You just blew up the road. Don't go try to drive a tank over it right now, because it just ain't gonna support it. Okay, so maintain healthy relationships, friends and family. And if it's more than just a friend, just be honest about it, because they know, especially if they're 10, 11, 12, 13 and on up. They know. They're not dumb. Okay, because then you're going to come home and you're going to have, this is a friend. And okay, this is a friend. And okay, this is a friend. And they're going to go, oh, so we have a revolving door of friends. And I'm like, no. That wasn't that kind. I was dating this friend, and I wasn't dating that. It just creates confusion. They're already confused. Be very clear as a bell. Daddy's dating this lady. She's not going to be part of your life. If you're ever interested to see a picture, I will show you. But she is not a part of your life until I'm sure that she's a part of my life. But I am not taking away from my relationship with you. You, my darling, you, my son, are the most important thing. Because especially if they're young, if you remember in the very beginning of this, I said when they're very young, early grade school type age and younger, that's the thought process of mommy or daddy can stop loving mommy. The other, if mommy can stop loving daddy or daddy can stop loving mommy. And I didn't think that was possible because they can't process that. Now mommy's going to stop loving me. And now there's now mommy or daddy is loving another person. I'm confused. Okay. So, and when they get into the grade school years, that's my fault. He did this to me. If you can throw them away, you can throw me away. Okay. Very cognizant of that one. So maintain healthy relationships, but just be very clear with what they are. Okay. And remain consistent, right? That's a big one. And when I say that, it goes back to the 50-50 rule, right? Or the thirds if it's on a 3-year plan. So try to remain as consistent as possible. Like I told you guys early on in, I think it was podcast number 1, you can get it on YouTube or Spotify, but it was, be consistent, right? Every single time my daughter comes home, we do the same exact thing. The dogs come out, we put their vests on, we take them for a walk. They get used to her. She get used to them. She gets her energy back. Boom, boom, boom. We go out to dinner. It's just her and I. We talk, and there's no other distractions, no phones, no nothing. And she vents. And usually it's in the car on the way to dinner. I try to find somewhere where we're driving for a while because that's just how she does it. But just understand, remain consistent, okay? And then monitor your older kids, right? You need to make sure that they're okay because they're not going to tell you that they're okay. I'm going to tell you right now, they won't tell you they're okay. For the most part, they're not, right? You just watch them, watch the grades, watch how they're dealing with friends, watch are they lashing out? Are they yelling, right? Where is it coming from, right? Maybe they have inner frustrations. Remember, when you're arguing with another individual, generally a lot of arguments with your spouse will go farther than they would ever go with anybody else in the world because that's a safe space. And so you will just dump all of your inner stress, anxiety, and pressure onto them. And your kids will do the same thing. So if you see them lashing out at friends that they've had for a long time, or you see them doing those kind of things, just monitor that because that there's an indication of something more. Okay. Another one is empower your children. That's a big one for me and my relationship with my daughter right now or it has been since we began, because I understood when I was reading that, I forgot what the book was called in January, and I apologize. If I can remember, I'll link it in the description. But it says that, children lose control, or they've lost the sense of control and normalcy in the life that they had before. So try to empower your children as much as possible. Okay. Let them make decisions that they normally wouldn't have made, right? Not every decision. I'm not saying, should I go to work today? No. I mean, what do you want for dinner? How do you want to decorate your room? I mean, things like that. What do you think we should do? Empower them. Give them some control, right? Because the best way to alleviate that fear of uncontrolled anxiety that this is happening to me is to give them something to control. So empower your children to make a decision to control something. My daughter is an active member of this podcast, of the jsanchezorsini.com brand, of voiceovers, of product reviews, of everything that I'm doing. She has control, and I have empowered her. I've empowered her with creating thumbnails. We have every 2 weeks we have what we call our production meeting, where we talk about all the ideas that we talk about here on this podcast, as well as in all the videos that we may produce within YouTube, right? She has I don't like it when you did that. You did this good. She proofs all of my videos. So she has control. I've empowered her, teaching her new technologies. She has a say. If she says it looks like crap, guess what? It probably looks like crap. Hey, hun, what should I wear on this podcast or this demonstration or whatever the case may be, right? When we go to buy a house, hopefully, pray to God, early next year, she's going to be empowered. What do you like? What you don't like? Ultimately, I make the final decision because I am still the parent and the adult, but she has input. And on things that are not like earth shattering, she's got the complete say in what we eat, whether she buys lunch, whether we want to make lunch, doesn't matter. Okay. When we get to our new place, what she paints her room, I don't care. Give her something. The other one is teach coping skills. And when I say this, I do this with Ashley, or my daughter, very, very frequently. And it's how to deal with situations that are scary. So here's one thing that I do. We go out late at night sometimes, and on the weekends specifically, and we take the dogs for a walk, and it's usually pitch black. And we've been doing this for months and months and months and months and months and months, but probably at least the last 10, 11 months. And the reason I've done it is to teach her how to deal with the fear and how to deal with just coping. Like, let's just breathe. Let's rationalize. Okay? Let's learn how to cope with an experience that we're out of control with, which then will lead into how do you deal with the situation you're out of control with in your real life? How do you deal with fear in real life, anxiety in real life, right? Evaluate the situation, evaluate what's going on, look at it. Is it unrealistic or not unrealistic? Is it, I guess I'll use unrealistic. Is it an unrealistic feeling that you're going through, right? And then how do you deal with it, right? Help them feel safe. I do that with her, right? There's nothing that's going to get you. Your daddy's got you, right? When you go to sleep, I'm right here. I'm 10 feet down the hall. And you got your dogs, right? Which I've spent an inordinate amount of time training, right? To listen to her every command and to get certified as emotional support animals, to if you yank or pull her or run away with her, he won't leave her. My one dog will not leave her. He will whimper, he will whine, he will bark. He won't leave her. Ever. And he spends his entire week depressed because he is not with her. When she's back, he's like, white on rice. He's with her. But that helps her feel safe. And if I need to buy another dog to make her feel safe, I will. The other night I went in there and she had 2 dogs sleeping on top of her with a weighted blanket. Now granted, I like to have it cold in my house, but she woke up, I feel great. I'm like, how did you feel great? You had 110 pounds of dog plus a 60-pound weighted blanket on you. I don't know. I felt great. Okay, whatever. The last thing I'll say, and this is something I've done in my life as a whole, and I've taken it to the next level with this podcast, with being a dad, and that's get education, right? I always learn, never stop learning. Try to learn something new every single day, but get parental education, right? Learn. You don't need the proverbial cookbook, but there are books out there, right? And it's all about this up here, all about the psyche, emotional, things. I talked about emotional boundaries. I've talked about abusive relationships. I've talked about divorce. I've talked about dating. I've talked about getting through the holidays, right? I've talked about last 2 podcasts, which still relate back to her, which was fighting the bulge, right? Getting active again, what you eat and getting the right thing to eat. I haven't been eating the right thing. Obviously, I have, things, my skin breaks out. I haven't been to the gym as much as I wanted to. And I'm telling you right now, I'm tried to commit to 3 days in the week. I didn't get to 3 days. I got to 2, right? I'm supposed to be amping it up. I'm not holding myself accountable. But the idea of it all is to show that I am holding myself accountable, but also to show that I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be happier. I'm trying to better myself through how to cope with pain. Okay. And educate myself and educate others, educate her. And the last one is get help for yourself and get help for them. They have online things resources that you can go to. Most employers have an EAP program, an employee assistance program for you. Use it, right? Nobody thinks bad of you. It doesn't get held against you. And try to get some help for them. If you can, and you can't afford it, I understand, right? Medical is expensive. Psychiatry, it's like, therapy, all of it's expensive. It's not like everybody can do it, but there are books out there. There are online blogs. There's this podcast. Write a comment. Ask a question, and I guarantee you, if I don't know the answer, I will go find out, and I will get back to you. Okay? I will write the answer. I will send you the documentation. I'll do whatever it need to make sure that you're good. But go get help from somebody, whether it's me or you're a therapist or EAP or family. Talk. Get it out. Get help. Because when you're getting help, they're understanding that they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be perfect. All right? They can be a deeply feeling individual that's just okay with being okay, right? Make sure that when you're going through all of this, that what was the big cause of my little last foul up where I'm in the car and breaking down in tears because I screwed up Thanksgiving in my mind, is we didn't plan well enough. Plan. Make sure that weeks in advance, what are you guys doing on Christmas? What are you doing on New Year's? What are you doing? Make sure you know. Okay? Because it adds less stress to your kids. Okay? Don't allow scheduling conflicts to get in the way of you and them and how they do anything, right? Be respectful of your spouse, your ex-spouse, I should say, right? At the end of the day, that's a person that you once loved. You may not love them anymore. You may freaking hate them, but put it aside. Forgive them. They're human. Okay? Barring the one-off events, I get you. Okay? I'm talking about 90% of the relationships out there where they just fail because you both just can't communicate, or he's kind of a jerk or whatever, or he cheated or she cheated or whatever. Just get over it, okay? Because the kids, they don't need to see it, okay? Recognize that the children have the right to spend the time with both parents. I literally said that to my daughter as she was losing it with my ex, right? Like, I don't sit here my 7 days when I don't have her going, I hope she's having a really horrible time. I hope she's fighting. And I told my daughter that, like, no, like, that's crap if you think that. I guarantee you, my ex wishes that my daughter is happy when she's with me. And I can guarantee that I am hoping that she's happy when she's not here. I don't want her unhappy. I don't want her crying. I don't want her arguing. I want her happy regardless of where she's at. That's a parent. That's adulting. Okay? That is being an adult. That is being mature. Okay? Remember that time with both parents is the best thing for the kids. That's why you're starting to see this 50-50 the custody arrangements. Okay? Be honest about things in your family. Be honest about things that are changing. Let your kids know that things are changing. Okay? And everything's not gonna be the same. 50%. That's all I'm saying. I'm doing a 2-year plan. Okay? Trying to do the 2-year. Because things are moving a little quicker on other sides. So I'm trying to do a 2-year plan. I'd prefer a 3, but we're doing a 2. Okay? Things aren't gonna be the same. But we can kind of try to remember, we could try to do a little bit of what we did before. Okay? Understand how you're feeling. Remember? Because if you're angry, they're angry. Okay? And you're going to feel it. They're going to feel that tension. They're going to feel your anger. They're going to feel that, right? There's no other distractions. I can say that honestly, that when my daughter's here, there's no other distractions that keep me from that. There's nothing that's more important than my daughter. Nothing. I love what I do for a living. God knows I love what I do for a living. But it pales in comparison to my daughter. If I have to go work a kiosk at the mall and sell cell phones or something for a living, I don't want to. I love my job. Love my team. Love who I work with. Love my boss. Love them all. Like literally love them to my core. But nowhere near as much as my daughter. I would do anything for her. And she is the most important thing to me. More than money, more than this job, more than anything. Okay? Show them that you are okay. Show them that they're important. Show them that it's okay to be happy. As much as it hurts, acknowledge that pain, but show them that it's okay to be happy. Make sure that you're out there. Make sure that you're singing. Make sure that you're doing those things and you have the distractions that are happy and you're surrounding yourself with people that you care about, right? That, you know, when you're you're in a funk, you pull yourself out of the funk. You don't use them to pull you out of the funk. You pull yourself out of the funk. And sometimes my daughter likes to be my parent. And I have to remind her, stop trying to parent me, you know? But also find quiet time, play games, read books, do those things, right? Watch your favorite movies together. Read books, right? I'll tell you right now, the night before Christmas or the night before we celebrate Christmas, we will do our standard, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And we will read it with my dad and my mom. And that is one tradition that I won't break. Just won't. Right? Maintain the familiar things with what you did before. I said I decorated a tree, right? Create those new traditions, decorating trees, doing all those things, right? Understanding how you're feeling, understanding how they're feeling. It's a yin and yang. Like as much as you do one thing, you do the other thing, right? Make sure that, you know, that if you're happy, you're happy. You're sad, you're sad. But make sure it's all authentic. That's the big thing. Like even when I said before about, you know, your friends, about defining who they are and what they are. Friends are friends, and other things are other things. Make sure that you're authentic with it all. If your child's sad, let them be sad. If your child's happy, let them be happy. If you're sad, hey, pull yourself out. You're the adult. Okay? But just be authentic, be real, right? If they start talking about things that are making them sad, those triggers, one, remember the triggers, right? And go through it. Right? Don't go through old photos and ornaments from years ago. That's just stupid. Okay? Don't go through memory lane right now. 2-3 years from now, maybe you want to. Okay? Now, this is where I'm going to kind of start to close things out. And I understand this has gone on a lot longer. This has been a long podcast, and I apologize for that. And some of you may not listen to all of this. And that's okay. But I'm going to say that we're doing this, my daughter and I. Right? We're going to find charity work during this holiday season. Because as low as we are, as sad as we are, we have a lot to be thankful for. And remember that. Teach them that. Go give to somebody else. Because as bad as you have it, there's so many people in this world who have it worse off. Right? And say this is about loss. Because divorce is very paramount to loss as well. Right? But some kids don't have their other parent. Ever. again. Some kids don't even have a home or food. So give to those who are less fortunate. Teach them, right? That to give to others who are less fortunate, to be thankful, to be blessed for what they have. The stuff that we have, the stuff that we own is nothing. Will Smith said in this motivational video that I watched, and it was so true, and I've just held on to it. You will never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. And teach your children that. This is all stuff. This is stuff. When I'm recording you on stuff, doesn't matter. Money just gets stuff. Provides experiences if you think of it the right way. It's kind of like food. Food can be bad or food can be good. Food can be energy or food can be an emotional crutch, right? Money can be bad, money can be good. It depends on how you look at it. Provides an experience, helps other people, right? But ultimately, create a connection with your children during this holiday season. They're feeling down, they're feeling low. I guarantee it. You may be feeling down, they're feeling low. But also understand, be kind to your kids, be kind to others, and give yourself a break because kids are resilient. If you're listening to this podcast, I can guarantee you, and if you've gotten this far into it, I can guarantee that you want what's best for your children. And because of that, give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. Because it can take up to 3 years before things get back to normal, they say. So just stay consistent. Try not to change too many things. Homes or dating or rituals, right? Just write them out. Keep it consistent. Calm the waters in their mind. Make them feel safe, heard, and empowered. And with that, do better, be better, because you know better. This is the Renaissance Daddy, and this has been episode 10. If you've liked this content, please hit like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for listening. Later.